Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Happy New Year, damn it. Let's talk a little bit about price. For XRP, Bitcoin, and the broader crypto asset class, I've got opinions from a ton of chart analysts that I want to share with you in this video. With the big question being at the moment, is the price bottom for XRP the local low? Is it already in, or can we expect lower? There are lots of opinions, varying, and I'm gonna share chart analysts that have opinions on both sides. And it's probably not going to surprise you to hear that it likely is dependent on what happens with Bitcoin, and I'll explain in greater detail why in just a moment. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I'd appreciate the support, and consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel, because if you do, then your life will truly be complete, and you will find true happiness. That's a Moon Lambo promise or some such jibber jabber. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 23.5 cents. Bitcoin is at $29,362. Market cap for the asset class, $777 billion. That's a lucky number, right? 777. Bitcoin dominance, 70.17%. And XRP's just been trading sideways for a while, right? I mean, you can see here, I'll pull up the 7-day chart and see where things really started to draw down after the announcement of delistings. This is probably the Coinbase one that I'm highlighting on the screen here. Things about a little bit scary with XRP getting down to somewhere like the 17.5 cent range, I believe. But since then, it's been coming up a little bit over the last few days. And so you can consider this, without this news, XRP before the news came out, it was close to 60 cents. And so the news is what brought it down to these levels. But additional news that's been dropping since, within the last day or two in particular, seems to not really be impacting the price of XRP in terms of additional cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States. They're saying that they're going to suspend or delist XRP. I think that the fear that resulted from the initial wave of that from like Bitstamp and Coinbase, that hit, and then the people that are like, "Now I'm going to stay anyway," like me, for example, they're here. And look, to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, so you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? I think it's interesting to talk about these topics and run a YouTube channel purely as a hobby because I really enjoy it. But I'll share with you, in a general sense, if you think that Bitcoin is going to keep going up, what would be your case for XRP going down if there's no additional scary news? Because to me, if there's no additional new scary news, I don't see it happening. Now, some people are talking about liquidity drying up, and that could somehow result in the price of XRP going down. But understand that, in terms of the amount of volume flowing through United States cryptocurrency exchanges for XRP, it's not that much. I don't remember the exact number. I've actually seen varying numbers, anywhere from like 5, 10, maybe 15% on the high end. And so even if most of that goes away, you still have the rest of the world trading. And there are cryptocurrency exchanges that are steadfast, at least to this point. Like, for instance, Uphold, very vocal about the fact that they will not be they will not be suspending or delisting XRP until and unless it is proven in a court to be deemed a security. To this point, Kraken, and they could, I don't know, maybe they will end up suspending or delisting XRP, but to this point, they have not announced any such thing, and that's a major cryptocurrency exchange. And so the way that I'm looking at it, it just seems to me that if Bitcoin goes down, at this point, it looks like XRP is probably just back to moving in line with the rest of the market. That would be my unprofessional guess here. And I'm not going to make price predictions. I never have. I never will. That would be disingenuous. I am not a technical analyst. I'm just sharing with you my perspective as somebody that's been following this stuff. I've been in the space a little over 3 years at this point. And shout out to Frecky, who tagged me in this tweet, which was a snapshot, 24-hour snapshot. And I thought it was worth sharing because if you take a look at this, we could use a little bit of good news, right? Over the last 24 hours, out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, I think there's a top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, he's got 9 on the screen. Did I count right? If I counted right, 5, 6, yeah, I did. So out of the top 9 listed here anyway, only XRP and Bitcoin are up, and XRP is outperforming Bitcoin over that period. It's up 5%. So it's just kind of fascinating. It just makes me wonder, because I think that all the people that are like, whoa, things are getting too hot. And again, by the way, I don't blame you if you either reduced your exposure to XRP a little bit, to some degree, or a lot, or entirely. Hey, that doesn't change how I feel about you. You got to do what you feel is right. And I get it that there is increased risk. Let's not deny that holding XRP is a result of this. But for me, I actually would feel less less secure. I definitely would feel less secure if I didn't have my exposure to XRP, because I believe that Ripple will be found to be on the right side of history, even if they end up having to pay a fine or this or that. I can't imagine. I'd be shocked if XRP were actually to be deemed a security. And even then, I don't know that it's absolutely going to completely ruin Ripple's business model. And so I shared with you also this sort. I'm not going to run through this because I did share it in a video the other day, but I just wanted to bring this up for anybody that missed it. This is Chart Analyst Credible Crypto, who told his 90,300 followers that he thinks it's crazy, effectively, I'm paraphrasing, to be selling XRP at the current level, because he made the point that even if there's just a dead cat bounce, he'd expect XRP to go up to 40 cents. And he cited what I've been saying on this channel too, which is simply, among other things, that the liquidity globally isn't going to dry up, even if it does in the United States. And there are still at least going to be at least a couple options for buying and selling XRP in the United States. And so to everybody that wants to purchase or sell XRP after the suspension and delisting of XRP on other exchanges, a lot of that volume, I suspect, is just going to flow to the cryptocurrency exchanges that choose to support it. So I'm sure all sorts of people are going to be setting up accounts. And that's why I've been a fan of Uphold for 2.5 years. And I just think it's a really trailblazing, gutsy move to do what they're doing, and I happen to respect it. I really do. The fact that they are just steadfast in their stance. No, we will not be suspending or delisting XRP. There's a tweet from Mike Novogratz, and he wrote, "What coin has the best chance of winning payments? Lots of contenders." And didn't cite XRP. Well, how about that? But chart analyst Magic tweeted out #XRP to his 31,900 followers, and respect, man. Yeah, I think it's not over, right? I think that XRP is not done yet. And then Magic also tweeted out. Here you go. Where's that looking here? Oh yeah, here you go. Here at say what you want. It was the best performing asset in 2017, and I believe there is a strong possibility that history could repeat itself. Also, XRP is technologically superior to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others that rely on proof of work. And so I mentioned this in another video, which is why I'm going to be just super brief here. I just want to make sure as many people hear as many opinions as possible. But he did cite in a piece, which again, not running through in this video, where he thinks it's certainly in the cards potentially for XRP to run up to $9 and beyond. And he just cited, and he gave his rationale for why he believes that the market cycle that is presenting itself now is replicating what happened in late 2016. So I don't know if that'll be the case, but that's back when XRP was around like half a penny and ultimately ran up about a year later to almost $4. Here's a tweet from DIY Investing, which I thought was interesting. And he wrote, as another pro XRP chart analyst who wrote, "What people don't realize is that in the beginning of 2018, every altcoin up to the 43rd spot had at least $1 billion in market cap. People act like alts will never pump again when we're about to see more money in these than ever before. You thought 2017 was crazy? S-word." And so I'm censoring myself for the children in the background. But and that was it. So I actually did I did check and see, okay, so how many coins today have at least $1 billion market cap? And I think it was only the top 30, the top 32 coins out of over 7,000. And I think more money is going to be flowing in this time, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But people are still willing to speculate on XRP, and the people that are speculating, of course, at this point, well aware of what's happening with the litigation. And so it's going to be people making a bet. It's my humble opinion. I think a lot of what's going to be weighted here of people purchasing XRP over this next alt cycle will be people that are betting on Ripple being on the right side of history. That's my suspicion. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Lub Crypto, who wrote, "XRP, here's a quick chart update for those who requested it. XRP heading north with high probability unless Bitcoin decides to pull the rug." And that's an acknowledgement right there that XRP indeed does follow the price action of Bitcoin. It still does. There's no indication that it's not going to do that. And so if Bitcoin does crash down to, who knows, what if it goes down to 20,000 again? I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it does, do you not think it's going to negatively impact XRP and every other altcoin? And so for me at this point, the scary news, I mean, there could always be new scary news, but it seems like the vast majority of what could possibly go wrong has already gone wrong. And so if we're going to see a lower XRP price to any degree, it's probably just going to follow Bitcoin. And if that's the case, that doesn't, me personally, that doesn't scare me in the least. I realized that years ago that is the case. and that's not going to shake me out. So if I'm not going to get shaken out by news about the SEC and delistings in the United States, I sure as hell am not going to get shaken out by the price action in which it's just back to normal. XRP's following the price action of Bitcoin, even if the number sounds super scary, which I'll be illustrating in this video, and I'm going to share it not to scare people, but because this is not a hype channel, and we need to acknowledge that, excuse me, need to acknowledge that investing in crypto and XRP specifically is risky, but that's just an acknowledgement of reality. All right, and it doesn't change my conviction about the long-term viability of XRP, but let's just be real about it. Yeah, in the short term, it's possible, especially if Bitcoin goes lower, that you could see a lower price of XRP. I'm just sharing with you that it's not going to affect my buying and selling decisions, period. I have rock solid conviction in this, and if things don't go the way that I hope and think they will, then fine. I acknowledge maybe I'm wrong and it goes to zero, but I do not believe that, and I've got skin in the game. That skin will remain in the game. And additionally, and I'll be talking about this in future videos, but I fully intend to put my dollars from my checking account to work investing in additional cryptocurrencies purely for the sake of diversification, but I personally will not be reducing my XRP holdings at all. Period. Not going to do it. Here's a tweet from Capo, who wrote, today's sum up. Coinbase whales have accumulated more Bitcoin. Stable coins are being deposited to exchanges. Demand is ready. Fundraising going down and even turning negative. Bears in disbelief. They keep shorting. And altcoins showing first strength signs. And that's the part that I think is going to be most interesting, because although I am a Bitcoin holder and I want it to do well, I continue to believe it will indefinitely do well. I'm most interested in XRP and seeing what happens with altcoins. And I have a feeling that, you're going to see the type of activity that we saw in 2017, where there was at least, well, there were two more altcoin cycles in 2017. So I certainly suspect there's going to be at least one. It'd be bonkers if we think that out of 7,000 cryptocurrencies, only one is ever going to see price appreciation in a major way ever again, and it's Bitcoin. I just don't buy that. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I remain confident that it's more likely than not that you are going to see rallies with XRP and other cryptocurrencies in the future. And really, the bottom line is, look, in the end, the litigation is going to be either settled or it'll go to court with a jury trial, and we'll get a final determination of what XRP is. Is it a security? Is it not? And I don't believe it's a security at all. I just think SEC is going to have an uphill battle, my humble opinion here. But that's what I'm waiting on. So basically, at this point, that's one of the things that I'm majorly betting on by continuing to hold XRP, is that I think Ripple's on the right side of this thing. And so my calculus has not so much changed. I do acknowledge it's more risky because this is looming. I acknowledge that, but it doesn't. I don't think it changes what reality is in the least. That's my humble opinion. Here's a tweet from Josh Rager in which he's basically acknowledging that you could see a push for Bitcoin over $30,000, which it has not yet. I was recording, but things happen fast in crypto. You're a future people. You know more than me, perhaps. Excuse me. And here's a tweet, not a tweet, here's a piece from the Daily Hodl titled, Fundstrat Analyst Tom Lee Reveals Bitcoin Price Prediction for 2021. And I don't really want to, well, maybe I do. Actually, you know what? I do want to cover this, the quote here, actually. I take it back. Fundstrat analyst and executive Tom Lee thinks Bitcoin's incredible bull run is just beginning. In a new interview with CNBC, the firm's managing partner and head of research says the weakening dollar will continue to contribute to Bitcoin's continuing price climb. And here's the quote. First, Bitcoin's got to be denominated in something. So if the dollar's weakening and Bitcoin holds its value, then Bitcoin goes up. But the more important effect is this year we did see a lot of central bank liquidity. The dollar was really strong, surprisingly, for much of the year, but its weakness now is going to make people think, how do you keep a unit in sound money? A lot of people thought gold would be that store, and I think it still has a reasonable basis for someone to be long gold. But I think for younger folks and those who are in the digital generation, Bitcoin is that digital asset that they want to hold as a store of value. And so Lee predicts that Bitcoin's 2021 will outperform its bull run in 2020, meaning something above 300% this year on the year. So at this current level of almost 30,000, you'd be looking at somewhere close to $90,000. And so a point that I want to make out before I hop into the next piece, because it is a negative opinion from a chart analyst having to do with XRP, I personally believe that even if you see Bitcoin pullback, which there are going to be pullbacks along the way. Like, let's be real, of course. You got 12 years of history indicating that's just how it works. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. Even if it goes parabolic in a major way, fine, there's still going to be a retracement at some point. And so even if you have that in the short term and XRP price takes a hit, do you really think, given that the people that are invested in XRP now are just they're betting on Ripple being on the right side of history, and given that we still know to this point, the negative news mattered, fine. I still firmly believe, I think we can reasonably state that we know XRP in a general sense is still going to continue to follow the price action of Bitcoin. Well, then if Bitcoin continues to go up, is XRP just only going to respond when Bitcoin goes down, but not respond when it goes up? Do we believe that? Because I don't. If XRP goes down when Bitcoin goes down, and you don't think that it's reasonable to believe that as Bitcoin goes up in a general sense, XRP would go up along with it, to me that's a logical fallacy of some kind. That just doesn't seem to make sense to me. And so here is a piece from the Daily Hodl. Top analyst warns Bitcoin on cusp of massive correction, predicts when XRP will finally hit a bottom. And so he goes on to state that in the short term, he thinks you could see Bitcoin down to a range of about $20,000. Most analysts that I'm following think that the trend is actually going to increase, including the blockchain backer. He just put out a video in which he thinks more likely than not you're going to see Bitcoin increase in value rather than see a retracement in the short term, potentially up to the range of $50,000. And so I would think if that happens, you're not going to see the price level of XRP around 10 cents. But this is Pentoshi saying Bitcoin down to about 20,000 and then acknowledging effectively that XRP would follow suit. And so if he's right and if Bitcoin goes down, I could see XRP go down. I don't know to what degree, but he here is saying 7 to 12 cents. And again, this is purely, if this happens, it's purely humans speculating. And so I'm not here just for them to be, just for the short-term speculation. Absolutely not. I'm a long-term holder of XRP. And so I'm here to wait and see how this all shakes out with the SEC. And if there's negative price action in the short term, which there certainly could be, okay, I'm going to keep holding. This will not change my buying or selling strategy. And if things continue to go up for Bitcoin, I suspect they will in a general sense for XRP because, again, the vast majority of the trading is outside of the United States, and I don't think that's going away. I really don't. There's all sorts of exchanges that have made very clear they will, outside of the United States, they will not be removing XRP. There's no reason to. They're not subject to any sort of regulatory condition from the United States if they're in a different country. So there you go. People will continue to speculate. And it's going to be a while. I don't know how long this is going to take, which is why I really would love if there's just a reasonable settlement between Ripple and the SEC. But outside of that, okay, game on. Let's just see what the hell happens here. But I'm still long-term optimistic. There's no guaranteeing what we're doing here, and that's why I will always be a realist here and not just give you a hypey type news. I understand that this is a scary situation, and in the short term, XRP could see negative price action. It might. And in the long term, gosh, what if we're wrong? Well, that would suck. But that's also part of why I'm going to continue to diversify, because we're in a bull market here, and there's lots of reasons to be excited. But XRP remains my largest holding, and it's going to be indefinitely. And I'm optimistic. And so for me, it's like, no guts, no glory, my friend. So I'm going to be here. I feel for everybody out there that is feeling scared about this. I'd say rightfully so. It's a scary time. And so that's why I just want to keep delivering the message that, first of all, I'm certainly sympathetic. I'm in there with you. This doesn't feel good, but I'm not going to let my emotions about this change my strategy. And I do think that Ripple is in the right in what they, because it's just insane the fact that the SEC would allow XRP to be openly traded in the United States for about 8 years. And then just out of nowhere, I mean, just that's why, like, as the Uphold CEO put it, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he used the word tacit. He said it's like a tacit approval or some such language of XRP, even though they didn't rule on it. You're saying after 8 years, after you went after ICOs in 2017 that had barely had any life, like little baby cryptocurrencies, you went after them and took them to court and either won or settled, and you still didn't go after Ripple and claiming that they were selling XRP as an unregistered security. Like, it just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't seem right. And, I don't think Ripple caused me any harm. The SEC, though, yeah. So anyway, but anyway, like I keep saying, just to be clear, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep running this Moon Lambo channel with a silly ass name, and I'm gonna have a good time doing it, you know, because look, we don't, I'm not gonna, I refuse to live in a state of fear. And I understand what I'm doing is risky and investing in the cryptocurrency asset class, but I'm just going to move forward. And I still love running this channel. It's still my most favoriteest hobby I've ever had. And so nothing along those lines is going to change. But I will wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.